Boom, what's going on, y'all? We are back for another episode talking about my process for identifying and purchasing a real estate investment property. So, we are at the phase right now of the mortgage process. We have identified the area we are going to invest in. And by identify, we mean I've done research, pinpointed specific areas in a specific city that I am willing to park my money. I have research as far as numbers go. Everything works out. We went over that in the first episode. So the numbers work. Then what I did was I went to the area itself. It was about, just so you guys know, it was 3.5 hours from me, from where I live. So I drove out for a day, took a Saturday there, kind of got a feel for the area demographically, downtown areas, what's going on during the day, what's there, what is anchoring that local market, if anything. And again, I just got a good feel for the parts that I want to invest in. Really good school district. That was very big for me. The list of things that I am looking for all checked out. Next, got my power team together, real estate agent, contractor, inspector, and management company. Everybody, we are all on board. So then I went to my agent, was like, "Hey, brother, let's go find property. This is where I want to be. This is my budget. This is the target area. This is what I want in the properties that I'm looking for." I gave him my list of no's and yeses. A few of the no's, just to reiterate, definitely no external obsolescences. What do I mean by that? I don't want to be near power lines. I don't want to be anywhere near train tracks. I don't want to be near hospitals or firehouses, things of that nature. So airports, definitely no to an airport. So those are external obsolescences. They draw value away from your property because of these external factors. So went through all those with him. What did he do? He found me a property. We went in. He said, "You're going to have to, get in there as soon as you can." What did I do? I literally drove out there that day that he sent it to me. I just dropped everything and said, "All right, I'm going to go drive out, take a look at the property." It was definitely what I wanted. It was it. Put the offer in and structured it in a way where, we would be, quote unquote, to the front of the line. And the great news is we got accepted. "Hey, Dan, your offer's accepted. What do you do now?" Here is the process that goes on right now. I'm financing this transaction. By financing, I mean I'm going to be taking a mortgage out. Now I'm in the mortgage process. So my lender, they get a copy of the fully executed contract between myself and the seller. I have it. Seller has it. Title company has it. Seller title company has it. And then buyer agent and seller agent. So everybody has a copy. You send that to your lender, and now they can see. And then what they're going to now do is ask me for an absolute ton of paperwork. I have to get my mortgage approval before I close. So all of these documents that my lender is now asking me for, I have to get to them in a specific time frame per the contract. So our contract closing date is the middle of December. I think it's going to probably push a little past that because the lender, we'll start to get into some things what the lender did. Here's one of them that they did. They didn't order the appraisal up front. They waited a while, and I don't know why, but they did. So now the appraisal is going to be delayed a bit. But also, the homeowner association has not gotten back to the lender with regards to the information the lender needs from them. This, by far, to me, is the least appealing part of the process, and it will be most likely for you too. So you may say, "Well, why, Dan? Why is that? Why is this not appealing?" Well, number one, I hate doing frickin' documents. I hate the things that I don't like to do are anything paperwork oriented. I don't like doing that. I'm much more in my element and, at my highest functioning capacity when I'm dealing with the public and dealing with people and working with people. I enjoy doing that, which is why I'm very successful at what I do, which is listing and selling property. So that's my forte. Paperwork and all admin stuff, I'm not like, that does not appeal to me at all. So I avoid it when I can. So so now coming from a growth mindset, if I said to you, well, I don't like doing paperwork and it's just so unappealing to me, well, what would that say to me as someone who's growth minded? It means you got to dive right the frick into that. Just dive the fuck into it. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm getting everything that these guys need. Obviously, I have to get it because if I don't get it to them, I can't close. Why are they asking for a ton of things from me? Documentation, verifications, tax returns, K1s, all of this crap. Because I'm doing what's called a full doc loan. So I'm going to go over with you all the types of loan programs you can apply for when you're purchasing an investment property. I decided to go full doc. Why? Because full doc rates are better than limited doc rates or no doc rates. So my rate is better because I'm now, it's a pain in the ass to get everything to this lender, but I'll suck that up for a half a point or 3/4 of a point, all day, every day. I'll do that. What options are there out there for you, Joe investor, to fund a purchase, an investment purchase, a real estate investment property purchase? Now, first and foremost, remember, this is an investment property, okay? So you're not going to be living in it. Because of that, it's considered what's called non-owner occupied, okay? Owner occupied is where you live now. The owner is occupying the property. So this is a non-owner occupied property. Because it's non-owner occupied, lenders consider those more of a risk. Why? One of the big reasons is because when somebody lives in something that they actually own, they think that they'll take care of it better, and it's human nature. We generally do. When you know something's yours, you're going to be extra careful with it. When it's somebody else's, it can be a little more lax. Well, the same goes for property. When you're renting something and it isn't yours, a lender will look at it and say, well, there's a higher risk of, the property having more wear and tear, whatever the case may be. So they consider the risk that that's reflected in the interest rate that you get. Owner-occupied rates are obviously lower than non-owner-occupied rates. Now, the second part of this is because it's an investment property right now in the market, I have not found a lender yet where you can put less than 20% down. So I'm putting 20% down because that's the absolute minimum requirement that I've seen. I have not seen any programs. And if any of you out there know a lender that does less than 20% down on an investment property, let me know. Fire off a DM to me, reach out to me, let me know. Because I may use them as a lender moving forward. Right now, I don't know any. So because I'm putting 20% down, the lender, again, now they need to verify, all right, where's the down payment coming from? I need to source that down payment. This is what happens with a full doc loan. So you have to source everything. So my deposit that I made, 5-figure deposit, the lender now wants to see where did that money come from in that bank account. And I want to see a 2-month history of those bank statements to see that you didn't just deposit that money somewhere else. You borrowed here to put it into this account to pay it. And if you did, then I want to see those bank accounts too. So everything is sourced and traced with a full doc loan. Okay. So, and another thing is owner-occupied loans. I'm sure you've seen them. You can go as low as 3.5% down on an FHA loan. Conventional, I've seen as low as 5% down. But that's because owner-occupied says you're going to live there. So the guidelines for those are much, much less strict and tight. That's why you can do less on the down payment. So, and there's some programs out there that are not full doc. All right. So let's get into a few of them. And these are ones that I considered before I did the full doc loan. So the first one is just a straight bank statement loan. So a bank statement loan because I'm not a W-2 employee, now most of the working population out there is. You people get a paycheck every 2 weeks. You get your W-2 at the end of the year that says how much you grossed, how much you grow, taxes out and Social Security and all that stuff, and then you get the totals of those. Those are all gross numbers. They're not net numbers. Okay, so I don't get that. As a real estate agent, I'm a 1099 employee, which means you get gross money. No taxes are taken out, so I have to take out my own taxes and pay the government every quarter. I have to do that. So with someone who's a W-2 employee, your employer takes care of that because they take out taxes and you get your paycheck and you see where it all goes. Your federal, your state, your Social Security, unemployment, all of that. They pay that already to the government, so you don't have to do it. With me, I have to actually send that money out to the government to pay it every quarter. So because of that, I get a 1099 at the end of the year, which just shows my gross commission income. GCI, we call it. So as a W-2, you don't get that. So because I get a 1099, there's a program called the bank statement loan program where they just take 12 months of your bank statements and they qualify you based on the deposits of those statements to see that there's constantly money going in. Okay. My rate, I was thinking about doing that, but the rate difference between a full doc loan and that loan was significant. It was almost a full point. So that's why I went with the full doc. So again, maybe next time I might do that because it's a pain to do this. And to be honest with you, the lender that I'm using, I'm not particularly thrilled with him. The loan rep that I have he's young and he's hungry and I like him, but the company itself I'm not thrilled with. So I'm probably going to shop the next purchase that I do. I wish he would work for somebody else, to be honest with you, because he's a really nice guy and he works hard. He's young and he works hard, and that's what I like about him. But the company as a whole, like, there's just consistently wrong information when they send me disclosures and things like that, and I'm fed up with it, to be honest with you. Get your shit straight the first time, okay? Well, you didn't do the first time. All right, maybe the second time. We're going on 3 and 4 times now that this stuff has just been, churning around, and it still isn't right. And I know it's not him; it's the company itself. So I'll probably shop it next time around. I'm gonna shop it next time. So that's a bank statement loan. There's also what's called the DSCR loan. DSCR. And that is debt service coverage ratio. So a debt service coverage ratio loan is this. With this loan, you don't need any income. You don't need any employment. You don't need, and there's minimal resources that are needed, okay? So all the lender does is they simply take the PITI, the PITI, principal, interest, taxes, insurance, PITI. They take that and they measure that against the rent schedule on the appraisal of the loan or the current rents if the property's rented right now. And they use that to get the borrower qualified. So it's a very popular loan, and I'm probably going to do that on the next property that I purchase. I'll probably do a DSCR loan. The rates are they're not bad on that. The rates are not terrible on those loans. So here's some of the intricacies of it. So the estimated monthly income to qualify for a DSCR loan, it must be, in most cases, 75% of the mortgage payment. Okay, so let me say that again. The estimated monthly payment to qualify for a DSCR loan, it must be 75% of the mortgage payment. Okay? In other words, so let me phrase this another way. The debt service coverage ratio, the DSCR, must be 75% of the mortgage payment. Okay? Now, In some instances and in some cases, you can go up to 80%. And a lot of times on a purchase, you can go up to 80. So that that works to your benefit. Okay. So those are, and again, these are really good loans to use if you're actually refinancing into a DSCR loan and you're paying off hard money or a private money loan that you use to get the property in the first place. Okay, so those are really good loans for that. There's also a 1099 loan program, which I looked into this hard because that's what I get paid on. And this is just the lender takes 1 year of your 1099 gross income. If you're in your business, 2 years or more. So if I just changed and was a real estate agent from 2022 to 2023 and I did this, they would say no. You've only been in this field 1 year. But because I've been in this industry for 24 years and in real estate, on the real estate side for 12 or 13, I easily qualify. So they would just take my last year's 1099 and what they will do with that 1099 is they're going to take a 15% expense ratio, expense factor, I should say. And they'll use that for your income. So, again, if you make $100,000, they'll take a 15% expense factor for that and use $85,000 for your qualifying income. So that's a 1099 loan, like 1099 program loan. So again, I was thinking about it, and I didn't end up going at the rate with what I had, because here's the thing I want you to remember. The reason I went with a full doc loan is because I knew in my head that everything that they're going to ask me for, I could provide to them. Is it a complete and utter pain in the ass to dig and get 15 things of information that my lender's asking me for? Yes. But am I down to like 3 of them now? Yeah. Because I had them all. It just takes time. It took me about a week to get everything together. So it is a pain in the ass to do. But yes, so I knew that I could provide all the documentation to my lender. That's why I ended up doing the full doc. Okay? So the next loan that you could do is just it's called the tax return loan. And by that I mean the lender will just take 1 year of your tax returns. Not all lenders do this. A few of them that I know do, and they just take your tax return for the last year, and they'll base your income off of the tax return. So, and again, these are just 4 of the major ones that I know you can use. There's so many more out there, so many more. There's limited income loans, there's stated income loans, there's no income loans. Those loans are still out there. Your rates are really aggressive and high with those because they're more risky, but you could do them if you wanted to do them. I just didn't want to because I knew that I could qualify with a full doc and may do a full doc for the next one. It's just a matter of finding the right lender for it. So, but again, so guys, there's so many loans out there. Shop around. Figure out which loan is really going to serve you best when you're purchasing your property. It's going to have the least, the lowest payment that you can, so you can cash flow the most. And then once you get done with the rehab, you can refinance it. Maybe you want to shrink the term to a 20 or a 10 year or even a 15, something like that. There's so many options for you. So I just wanted to highlight a few of them. Okay. So, and just so you know, the offer that I have out on the other property that I'm waiting to hear for in New Jersey, that property I'm doing a DSCR loan. So my approval is based on a DSCR loan. So that's what I'm going to probably do for that. But I'm going to kind of figure out what's going to be best for me once it gets approved. Okay. So now I am in the driver's seat to purchase my property. This is, my property, so to speak. I've won it. Now the seller thinks that, the seller and I are in a race to get this thing closed. They have to do some things on their end. I got to do some things on my end. And then again, at the end of the day, we are going to have an amicable closing. So there's a lot of things that I'm juggling here. Okay. First thing that I'm juggling is getting all the lender required docs. And I just went into I'm going to get into what they're asking me for. I don't mind getting specific with y'all. I'll let you know what they're asking for so you can know what to expect when you do a full doc loan, okay? The second thing I'm doing is I got to coordinate an inspection for the property. I was very adamant about not waiving the inspection. It got approved. And then the third thing is getting the city documents, the inspections required by the city. Every city has different requirements and documents. I have to now research and figure out, my assistant will help me, as to what this particular city's guidelines are. Once we figure those out, we go in and get the necessary documentation, pay the fees, and have them come out and do whatever inspection they require. All right, and then number 4, this is important, is coordinating with your contractor, and in this case, coordinating with my contractor, time, materials, rough workups of what the place is going to look like when we're done, and what the finished product will be. So I'm figuring all these things out too. Now, first, I got to get the list of what my lender wants to process the loan for them. All right. I'm going to get into some of the things that they're asking me for. I'm not going to get in every single thing, but I'll get you like the major things that they're asking me for that took me a long time to get. First thing, they want full tax returns for the last 2 years. So 22 and 21. Okay. They want bank statements for the last 2 months showing that the deposit check was, the money was in that account and the check cleared. So they want the copy of the front of the check and the back of the check. And then 2 months of that bank statement to source the money that it was there for more than 2 months. They want some credit explanations for some different things on my credit. They weren't even, some things weren't even, they were just inquiries that somebody, it was a soft pull on my credit, and they wanted to know what it was. So it's nonsensical, but I have to write up an explanation of what it is. Now they want a CPA letter, a certified public accountant letter from my CPA verifying that my LLC is in good standing, and the money that I'm putting into into the home isn't going to affect my LLC in some way, which it's not. So they're asking that. There's an IRS form that you have to sign. They're going to request documents from the IRS. That's any time you do a loan. That's not just mine. There's some large deposits on my bank statements. They want to know what those large deposits are. So I have to source those large deposits. All of my LLC documentation, all of it, the formation, the operating agreement, all of that stuff. They want all of it. So there's way more than that. But for now, that's the major things that they're asking for. Okay. Here's an interesting one, and I always advise people to do this. I always freeze my credit when I know that I'm not going to be doing any inquiries, anything like that. I freeze it. There's a thing called a credit freeze. I had my credit frozen, so they sent a message saying you have to unfreeze your credit so we can actually pull it. So I did do that, and now they're able to pull it. So those are just some of the things that they are asking me for. There's a lot more. I don't want to get into all of them because I don't want to bore you, but those are some of the full doc things. Now, when you do different loans, they're not going to ask for those types of things. A 1099 loan, they're not asking you for your tax returns. A bank statement loan, they may not ask you for your tax returns or LLC docs. I don't know. I'm not doing them, but full doc, you're always going to get asked the most because it's a full doc loan. All right. Now, remember this, gathering all this information takes time. This is why the lending process, if you buy a property cash, you're closing 30 days, if not less, because there's no lender in the middle. It is you get your offer accepted. Once the offer is accepted, then the title company can immediately start to run title and get you to the closing table, which could take 3 weeks, maybe a month. Lending is the thing that takes the longest. So I'm taking this is taking me like days, and we're going now into a week, 2 weeks to get every single thing that they want. It's going to take time, okay? And then once I get them, I email them to my lender. Then what I did was I scheduled the inspection. Okay. And I did the inspection a while back. And again, I did a full inspection. Now, on the contract, I'm limiting the inspection to major mechanical, environmental, and structural issues. I still did a full inspection anyway because I want to know what's going on with the property. It's worth the extra $300 or whatever it was for the inspector to do instead of just looking for environmental, structural, and mechanical issues. So we went through this, and the inspection takes about 2.5 hours. That's what this one took. And he went through every single thing. So now I know exactly what's going on with this property. And most of the things that were an issue are cosmetic. And we're going to renovate it anyway. We're taking out bathrooms and we're taking out hardwood, we're taking out carpet and stuff like that. Fixing leaks and things. So we know all that. But it's good to have it anyway. And so that's what we did. We did a full inspection. And then there was a couple issues mechanically that we had to negotiate. And, both parties were relatively happy with what the result was. And so we moved past that. So those kinds of things will happen. Maybe you're buying a property that has central AC, and the central AC hasn't worked in years or been used in years or serviced in years, and it may have some issues coming up. Those are things that you could possibly negotiate if the seller's amenable to it. But a lot of times when you have multiple offers, I don't know how much you're going to be able to get from those, because seller can just say, well, I'm going to go with, offer number 2 then if you keep busting my chops. So that's what happened there. Again, so we had a small issue with a sump. It's like with the sump pump. Something going on with the sump pump. And again, the city is also going to look at that as well. I don't know if the city is going to say, hey, we're good, or you have to address this. And that would not be me because I don't own the property. The seller has to address it because I don't have it's not my property yet. So again, we negotiated a compromise on that. The seller said this, I said that. We went back forth a couple times, and at the end of the day, we were both happy with what the compromise was. And so, yeah. Now, once the inspection's done, which it is, in this case, my inspection is complete. It's done. And no major issues were found. For me, I just was like, it was this huge, like, all right, we're good. Because again, you don't want, like, I want to buy the property. I don't want big issues to come up. I want there to be no issues. So I'm buying something that I know is going to be solid and good, and the bones are good, and I can make it something really, really attractive and appealing to a renter and to me, because it's my property. So that's why I was really excited. And then when it came back, and there was I don't want to say it's minor, but it's an issue that was 100% not a deal killer by any means. And we negotiated it. And that was it. It was just one. So I was really, really happy about that. And I just, again, man, yeah, I remember I got home that day, and I just was like, oh, thank God. So I breathed a big sigh of relief, because again, I know now I'm getting, here's the thing I want you to remember. I'm getting a solid property at a great price, and that's what I wanted. So now I know that I'm getting that. And it motivates me now to like get the process done. Now I'm like, when I got home, I was like, shit, like, all right, what other documents do I got to get the lender now? So it got me really motivated to kind of get moving and get things going and get this thing closed. So yeah, super happy, super excited. I was like, hell yeah, man, we are rocking and rolling here. I'm totally juiced. Like, let's get this moving. All right. So the next step was, after that, is I had to now contact the city and ask the city, hi, I'm Daniel, and I'm purchasing a property on this street here. What are your guidelines and requirements for a real estate closing here? What certificates or inspections or processes do you guys have? And she said there's some kind of inspection that they do with like the sewer. And I said, okay, and how much does that cost? And she told me, and it was like $500, something like that. And no, it was $100, but the company to go out and do it was $475. So I'm ending up, I'm $575 out of pocket. And here's why. Because there were multiple offers on this property, the seller knew that they could make the buyer pay for it. And if I didn't want to pay for it, and that was like one of my hang-ups, seller could just say, all right, good, don't pay for it. We're going to go with that next offer. And for $575, now the next buyer is going to get a great property. And I was like, there's no way I'm letting that happen. So I said, all right, you know what, fine, I'll pay for it. So the company came out, and the owners, were there, and they had to let them in, and they did this inspection, and it didn't seem like there was any issues. I don't know, they take a hard drive and they send it to the city. The city reviews it and makes sure there's no issues, and then they issue your certificate of occupancy or whatever inspection that they give the certificate. They send it to me or my agent, and then my agent sends it to the title company to let them know that we're good. So we did that, and I think, again, everything came back okay. And again, every city's different, so some cities won't do what I had to do. Some of them will have a different requirement. Some of them you just have to pay a fee and you get a certificate. In Hudson County, some of these towns here, they don't even come out and inspect. You just pay for it. So, and in order to find the company that I found to go do this sewer inspection, you got to Google around. And that's what I did. I Googled I Googled what I needed, and then I put I Googled whatever it was, sewer something inspection, and then I put the town in, the city in after that, and then a bunch of these companies came up. I called the first couple that had a lot of reviews, positive reviews. Both admins that answered the phone had no idea what I was talking about. And when they say to me, no, we don't do those, and then I'm like, are you sure? You guys are in this town, and you are telling me you don't do these inspections. I find that odd. And then she was like, yeah, I don't think we do them. You know what? Hang on. Let me find out if we do. And I was like, let me ask you a quick question before you find out. How long have you worked for this company? And she was like, a couple years. And I was like, it's okay. I'm like, you know what? That's fine. I said, I'll give you a call back if I need your help. And she said, fine. We hung up. If you've been at that company 2-something years and you don't know that they do them, that tells me that company doesn't have a lot of experience with doing it. So I didn't want to get involved with it. So I immediately said no. Next company, same thing. We don't do those. Okay, great. Third company I called, this wonderful woman. I think her name was Karen or Jody, whatever. Answered the phone and immediately was like, "Yep, we do those. Here's what it costs. Here's what we do. We take care of it and send it to the city. You just got to give our guy a check." I was like, "Perfect." She said, "I said, when can you come out?" And she said, "Now, my contractor linked me up with his plumber, and his plumber couldn't do it for 2 weeks." And I said, yeah, that's not going to work, bruh. So I need something better. You got to hook me up with something better. Again, why am I doing that? Because I want to get a referral first from somebody that I know. That's why I did that. And I encourage you to do it too. So I went to my contractor first. He sent me his plumber. His plumber couldn't do it. And then he came down and said, all right, I can probably do it next week. And we were already at Wednesday. And I'm like, no, it ain't going to work. I said, all right, I'll let you know by the end of today. I called this woman. I said, okay, great. I'm like, it seems a little pricey. She's like, actually, it's not. We're one of the lower priced companies that do these. I said, okay, when can you come out? She said, can you do tomorrow at 12? I was like, hell yeah, I can. So I got that done in a day instead of a week or 2 weeks. So nice guy came out, gave me a whole pamphlet on maintenance for what they offer like monthly. And it's pennies, like, I don't know, $10 or $15 a month. And this company covers like all these sewer issues that you could ever have. I was like, give me the flyer. I'm like, give me your name. When we close, I am going to refer, when I call your company, I'm telling them that you were the one who told me about this, so you get the credit for it, because thank you very much for letting me know that that's a service you offer. And he's like, yeah, no problem. Like, it's not going to be me that does it, but I just wanted to let you know that's what we offer. So I was really grateful for that. And I'm going to give him the credit that he deserves when I do end up using them, because I'm going to use that service. So now I'm waiting to hear back from the city, because what they do is they film the sewer line and they stick a hard drive in this like machine, and the hard drive, the camera that's in the sewer line films onto the hard drive, and he just takes my check with the form and the hard drive and it goes and brings it to the city, and the city reviews it. So, and says, if we're good or we're not. And I'd imagine we're good. I haven't heard anything yet, and it's been today is Sunday, December 10th, and I haven't heard back from them, and it got done not 2 days ago Friday. I'm sorry, not 3 days ago Thursday, a week and 3 days ago. That's when it was done. And I haven't heard anything back yet, so I'm imagining everything is okay, or maybe they send the results to the seller. I have to call my agent and find out. So we did that. Yeah. And again, if there were issues, the seller takes care of them. So that is where I'm at right now in the process. So I'm very close to closing. So again, today's December 10th. I'm supposed to close next week, or this week, say Sunday. So the 13th was the original date. It's not going to happen. We're waiting for one more thing from my accountant, and then everything else should be fine. And the city inspection. But all else, I've gotten them everything that they needed. So I'm hoping for Friday. Everybody, I got an email Friday afternoon, and said, we're going to gun for the 15th, which I believe is Friday. So 11, 14, 15. Yeah, Friday. That's our target closing date. So I'll let you guys know. Next episode's going to be the final stretch run to closing. Lender has all the docs. All the inspections are done. Appraisal, I believe, was done this past week. I haven't heard back, but I know it should not underappraise by any means. It should probably overappraise, to be honest with you, because we're getting at a really good number. And I just get with my contractor this week, get some. We're going to finalize what it's going to look like, and then we're going to also get material, because again, I told you last episode, and I will tell you here. If you're buying property at the end of the year, a lot of these manufacturers and warehouses want to get out the 23 material and inventory to bring in the new year. You can get it at a good discount, 20%, 25%. So my contractor and I are going to do that. So that's our next step. I am so grateful to be able to share this info with y'all. Man, like, give me some feedback. Tell me, like, dude, you suck, or, hey, man, this is awesome info, and I'm really getting excited about investing in real estate. Because, look, short of getting insider information on like a stock tip, there's no other bastion of commerce that I know in this country where you can buy something here and then over time it appreciates to here. Tell me something else you can do besides getting a stock here. But how do you know what stock it is? You don't. Real estate is it, man, for me. So, again, inflation's not 3.5%. It's not 3%. Like, ignore your government leaders. That's not true what they're telling you. It's way higher than that. Go to the supermarket. You tell me, people. If you tell me if you think inflation's back down to 3%, you're paying $8 for $9 for a carton of eggs. You're paying $5 for a gallon of milk. You're paying, if you're not getting crappy Wonder Bread, you're paying $3 to $4, $4 to $5 for a loaf of bread. Come on, man. It's ridiculous. Food is still way high. Look at your electric bills. I can't even imagine what your utilities are in the winter and the summer. So inflation's still here. So if you're not earning, I don't know, at least 5 to 8% on your money, you're losing. It's just like throwing money away, man. Because the cost of living is way higher than you just keep. If you're not earning what the cost of living is, you're losing money. Let's say that. So real estate is it for me. I love it. I love the chase. I love trying to find it. I love finding a deal. I love putting an offer on a deal. I love winning the deal. Who the hell doesn't love winning? Yeah, man. Dan the man winning. Where's fucking Charlie Sheen when you need him? I wish I could do like a Charlie Sheen drop. Just be like winning. Yeah. Like, come on, guys. Like, let's take this journey together. I'd love to hear your stories, man. You guys are banging out some cool real estate deals. Let's talk about them. Love it. You know, I mean, you could say you lucked out and got this one, but I mean, I looked at it and so researched it and I got it. And again, I'm hoping I get the other deal that I'm still waiting on. I lost 2 rounds with that. Okay. I'm going to give you a little bit of info on this. The first time I did highest and best, I didn't win. I was way below. And then I ran numbers again. And the second time I did it, because that deal fell through, the buyer was borrowing funds from like a family member. And the estate found out. And we're like, no. So that deal fell out. And he bid like 40 grand over what everybody else did. Like, it was just a complete waste. Then I get an email from the agent. He says, hey, this is back. You want to make it, another offer. You're welcome to do it. Here's when you need to do it by. I did it again. And because this is New Jersey, I'm going to represent myself. I put the offer in again. I increased it. And I didn't win the second one, but I was close. So it fell through again. I just got an email, and the agent's like, hey, and he sends an email and is like, look, and he sent a group email to everybody, but he BCC'd everybody, so nobody knows who else is there except themselves. And he's like, look, these are the things that I'm stressing. These are the things that you need to understand about this particular property because it's in an estate. And send me your offers. So I basically said to him, listen, my offer might not be the highest, but I know I'm close. But my offer is the best, and here's why. And I gave a litany of reasons why. And at the end, I said, I know how these processes go. I've sold hundreds of homes. I've been in hundreds of transactions. Look, you know you will close with me. So stop all this, taking other offers that are $5 grand more or whatever more they are. Just take this one. It's fair. It's way above your list price, and let's just end it. I said, the process will be as smooth and easy as possible. I've done these, and I just sent the email out, and he's had it for 4 days. So I'm wondering, did I win it or not? I don't know if I did or not. So I'll keep you all posted on whether I did or not. But that's another highest and best. Man, that would be 2. And the crazy thing is, this is why I really believe in higher power, things and forces. Both properties have the same street name. One in Pennsylvania, one in New Jersey. Both have the same street name. And both have the same middle number. Crazy. So it's like something. That middle number of the house number is the same on both houses. Same exact street name on both houses. So I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna get them both. I'm telling you right now, Danny Man is getting them both. It's just a matter of if this seller just. I'm gonna say this to you agents out there too, and I really mean this. I know that there are seasoned agents that don't do this, and I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the ones that. If you just tell your seller that the highest number is the best number, you shouldn't be representing them because that is not true. If you know certain agents close deals and certain ones they're putting out 3 and 4 offers on properties and whatever shit sticks on the wall, that's what the one they're going to go with. Like that's not then the highest number if they're it, that's not the best. Sorry, it's not. Highest and best means the highest possible number with the best possible chance to close. That is highest and best in my opinion. And there have been numerous occasions where I've gone over these deals with sellers and we've got 5, 6, 8, 10, 12 offers. And one is $5 grand above the next. But I know the other agent, they 100% close. I don't know this other agent. I don't know the lender they're going with. It's some pie in the sky lender. It is they're putting, maybe they're they're at the absolute limit of what they can afford. Like, that's not the best offer. The best offer is the one that is the highest possible amount that buyer can pay within the range of whatever the other ones are, and is the best possible chance to close. That to me is highest and best. So that's why I'm going to win this other property. Stay tuned. I will tell you whether we did or not, because I'll know next episode. I'm probably going to know tomorrow. So, I'll shoot a quick vid. I'll shoot a quick, 1 minute video to put out on the social, let you guys know that are following me whether I won it or not. And, you'll see me like, oh, fucking downtrodden and shit. Blah. Or, hell yeah, bro. Dan the Man strikes again. We got it. Number 2, dose. We got it. All right. Cool. Everybody, thank you so much for listening. Tune in next time. You'll know when we're going to close on this property, and we're also going to tell you about the other property. So, till next time, peace out.